Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Sorry for a quick live stream update. I read this story as I was getting ready to start my day. Usually I post the videos the night before, but I wanted to get this up now as opposed to Saturday. So just to let everyone know, even though this is a live video, there's not going to be a whole lot of communication between the live viewers. This is pretty much just going to be a quick story. And the story today is, remember how like several months ago, San Francisco was taking proposals to let scooters on the road. People were putting scooters on the road, all these different companies were, and San Francisco said, "Nope, nope, take them off. Take them off. You want to do this, you're going to apply and we'll let a couple of you guys onto the road." Well, of course, everyone complied really quick, including Uber and Lyft, and everyone applied, including Uber and Lyft, to let their scooters be on the road. And there was like this big question, who's San Francisco going to let on the road? Is it going to be Uber or is it going to be Lyft? And the answer, strangely enough, is neither. According to Business Insider, in San Francisco, the dockless scooters that once covered the city streets and sidewalks like bees in a hot dog stand are finally returning. The San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency, which had banned the shared electric scooters a few months ago, announced the details of a one-year scooter pilot program on Thursday. But while numerous startups and tech giants, including Uber and Lyft, were vying for the coveted permits to bring their two-wheelers back to San Francisco, only two scooter companies are getting the green light: Scoot and Spin, who I've never heard of personally, but on the other hand, I'm not really in. I don't think I'm going to actually be using the scooters anytime soon. So, starting in October, those startups will roll out a total of 1,250 electric scooters that San Franciscans can unlock with their smartphones and hop on a zip around the city. The company may increase the number of scooters to 2,500 each after the first 7 months of the pilot program, during which time the city will be watching closely to decide policies on the future of scooter share. The SMEFTA's, I love that, decision comes as a major blow to Uber and Lyft, which both applied for permits to operate scooters in San Francisco, as well as Bird, the white-hot scooter startup that's raised funding at a whopping $2 billion valuation. Its investors often credit the Los Angeles-based Bird with inventing the scooter share phenomenon last year. The Transit Authority reviewed 12 applications and more than 800 pages of proposals before reaching a decision, according to a statement. In fact, here's what the Twitter statement is. When the city of San Francisco finally determines which outfits can operate scooters, a green plum of smoke from the ashes of venture money will waft the rafters of town hall to notify citizens that an announcement is imminent. Oh, actually, this might not be SMEFTA. This is just some guy who's doing a tweet. But that's just kind of what it is. That Uber and Lyft were passed over for permits isn't totally surprising given the contentious history between them and the city. Yeah, because that's what happens when you constantly lie and you constantly pass the buck and you're constantly promising to improve things even though you never seem to actually improve. Of course they're going to get passed over once in a while. About 6 years ago, the car ride-hailing companies launched on the city streets and sidewalks without clearance from local authorities, setting a precedent for scooter startups to do the same. In March, three companies, Bird, Lime, and Spin, unloaded hundreds of scooters across San Francisco before permits for operating were available to them. According to SMEFTA, residents placed nearly 1,900 calls to city's customer service center between April 11th and May 23 to complain about scooters blocking sidewalk access and users riding in the public's right-of-way. I somehow suspect that's not going to be too different. I suspect that the situation is going to be very similar, but now with permits, they know who to go after and who to fine. And if those people are getting fined, well, then how should I put? Yeah, then maybe the companies will be a little bit more interested in, monitoring what happens to their scooters. Now, here's another person's tweet that I thought was kind of clever. It says, "The winners of SMAFTA scooters permits, Skip and Scoop. The losers, Uber, Bird, Lime, Lyft. Lesson, the ask forgiveness, not permission school of Uber operation isn't always going to work." And I agree with that. I think that's why they didn't get it. Uber has constantly put things on the road. They've never asked permission. And the one time that they actually do it, people are like, we're just not playing with you anymore. We're just not. So, anyway, to address the issues, the city started impounding scooters before the Board of Supervisors unanimously passed a new law requiring that any scooter startup have a permit from the SMEFTA to operate. It was not immediately clear on Thursday if the agency will issue more permits to companies like Uber, Lyft, and Bird before the one-year scooter pilot program is up. I would suspect no. I would suspect no. Unless this is like a wildly successful test run, which there's going to be a fair amount of hiccups. I think they're going to wait at least the whole year, and maybe even two. The decision is a blow to Uber, whose CEO recently touted its nascent shared scooter and bike services as the key to the company's future. And also, he also shifted away from the cars and started saying how much scooters were going to be their future, which that's got to be a little embarrassing. In fact, he was quoted saying, "During rush hour, it is very inefficient for a one-tone hulk of metal to take one person 10 blocks. We're able to shape behavior in a way that's a win for the user. It's a win for the city," which a lot of people has pointed out. Oh, Uber Driver 101's here. Hey, how you doing? He another user pointed out, like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna get off work and I'm gonna get on a scooter and go home. No, I'm gonna get a car. I don't care how inefficient it is. So, however, Uber and Lyft weren't the only ones who got shafted in this decision. Other unsuccessful applicants included Hopper, Jump, which is owned by Uber, Lime, Ofo, Razor, Ridecell, Spin, and U-Scooters. I think that's how you pronounce it. There are so many of these scooter companies. I mean, it's like, wow. Anyway, and according to this article, Skip was the first startup company with a shared dockless scooter permit. Its careful launch paid off. Yep. So, yeah, Sanjay Daskor, Skip's CEO, told Business Insider May, you're going to love this, that he prefers working with cities rather than asking for forgiveness. We're the only company without a cease and desist order. So if you're trying to decide who to work with and you look to whose scooters are the right fit for their city and who has taken the right approach to working with regulators on it, I would say we're the best choice. So, yeah, that's clear. That's not a dig at Uber at all. That is not. I love that. I love that one. So, yeah, let's go back up here for a minute. Who was it again? So yeah, so Skip and why can't I remember which? Scoot and Skip, yeah, they're the two that got the permit. So anyway, yeah, that's bad day for Uber. Bad day for Uber, and you can see why I wanted to get this up as soon as possible, even if I had to do this really quick live stream just to make sure it was out there. So this is just, I mean, do I personally care? I mean, no, I don't live in San Francisco, and I don't plan to be doing any of these scooter things anytime soon. It's, if I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to ride a bike, if only because for health reasons, it's healthier for me to ride a bike than to ride a scooter. But that said, Uber made a big deal about this a couple days ago. They were probably, in hindsight, it's probably like kind of a way to nudge San Francisco, like, oh, this is important. We're going to take more cars off the road. We can do that if we get this. And San Francisco still said no. They still said no. So I guess the next question that we have to ask is, what's next for Uber? Are they going to just have to continue to try to make their cars profitable? Or will they continue trying to bring their flying cars to the area? Apparently they want to bring them to Australia. Not even kidding. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. Uber wants to bring flying cars to Australia. It's on CNET. And there it is. Like, they don't even have these things up and flying in America. They don't even have these things up and flying in America, and yet they want to bring them to Australia. I mean, this is a company that is known for counting their eggs before they're hatched. So, I mean, you all know where that phrase comes from. I mean, if I recall, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure I'm going to get crucified, but I think it was like from farmers who, had a bunch of eggs, and they would count their eggs, and they'd consider they'd have this many good eggs. But then only so many of them would hatch, and they'd find out that some of the eggs were bad, and then their count would be off, and thus that would ruin what they had planned, whatever they had planned. So, I believe that's where the phrase "don't count your eggs before they're hatched" came from, and that Uber needs to really stop doing that. They just need to stop doing that. But anyway, I guess the whole point of this, yeah, the vote is in. The scooters are not going to be with Uber and Lyft in San Francisco. I guess they can apply elsewhere. Who knows? But that gives Scoot and Skim a definite head start. Now, I know this is live, and I know a lot of you have been talking, and I'm sorry again for not interacting with you as much. Again, this is live out of necessity just to get the video out there, but this was not going to be one of those interaction videos. But I appreciate everyone for watching nonetheless. So, for everyone, um, you know, who is watching, and everyone who might be watching this after the fact, what do you think of this? Do you think this is really bad news for Uber? Do you think they will bounce back? Do you think San Francisco is going to let Uber or Lyft back on the roads anytime soon? I would love to know. So, you know the drill. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy these videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping this channel run smoothly. As always, blame responsibly. Have a good one.